Coming up, lunch survival style. Tracking a 2-ton rhino. And emergency on the mountain.
You're doing really well there, mate.
The Namibian desert, one of the most spectacular places in the world, but also one of the most dangerous and remote. The Sirius Desert team have won through from thousands of applicants to get the chance to help the endangered black rhino. Only 3,000 are left in the wild, and only 150 live here in Namibia's hostile desert. For a week, the team have been undergoing intense training to learn to cope in such an extreme environment. It's time for their toughest exercise yet. Expedition leaders Emma and Bruce are testing navigation skills with a challenging trek.
Right, are you ready, guys? I'm going to give you the grid reference of where we're going to have to be. Yep. I'm going to leave it to you guys to work out where we are right now and how you're going to get to that point. The grid reference of where we're going, southerly, 19, 12, 13. And the easterly, 13
What
hours.
the team don't realise is that the point they're navigating to is at the very top of a mountain.
From now on, guys, I'm totally in your hands. I want you to take me to that point.
Trekking for 4 hours in the rising desert heat has got them worried.
There's not going to be any shade, so not going to be able to really stop.
It will get a lot hotter, and I'm a bit worried about that because we're all going to get a bit more agitated and sort of angry. To tell you the truth, I don't think we're going to get there. I don't think we're going to get there.
It's not long before they're confused.
In that direction. Okay, no. This direction. We follow the arrow, so it's over towards there.
But what way is your compass pointing? Because if I go by mine, I'm going that way.
That bush is...
While the debate continues, David stays separate from the group.
It doesn't look that far at all. It's just up there, and it's going to be quite slow. But I want to get there soon because it's getting quite hot now.
But what's slow to David isn't to Martin and Holly.
We're going quite quickly, but it's quite early, so it'll get hot later. But if we finish as quick as we can, then it won't be too unbearable. Yeah, good.
Finally, it dawns on them that they'll have to climb the mountain.
How high is that?
Pretty high, isn't it?
You see there? Can we walk up there?
The trek is going to be even tougher than they thought.
We're not going...
Absolutely huge.
Martin and Holly, we're not
And I
going to go
think
like
we've got
straight
to find a
up,
way
we're
around
gonna
it
go
now to climb up it, which means we've got loads more to walk.
The morning wears on. It's already 36 degrees, almost 100 Fahrenheit, and the team are starting to feel the heat.
It's been very tiring and hot. Very, very hot.
I feel like we're never going to get there. And it'd be nice to get back.
Yeah, have a shower.
Have a shower.
You stink. We haven't had a shower. We had a shower yesterday, but it's so hot and you just stink, man. It's nasty.
The climb is getting more difficult, and they're soon arguing about which route to take.
It's really steep, but it's quicker. So I was just thinking, is it worth trying to go a really steep bit just to get to there? Because that is...
because it's too steep.
But if we just get up there, then look how much we've come rather than going the long way.
It is really
It is steep.
Steep.
It is, Martin.
I mean, who
Like
thinks that we should go around
400
that way, and
stops.
who thinks we should go up?
David is getting annoyed with the group.
It'll be a lot quicker.
I seriously think that it's a bad idea to go up there.
So do I. We're stopping in the wrong places and too often, so we're stopping in the sun and then in the sun and then in the sun, diddling around in this heat. We're just gonna fry.
The problem is, we don't know where the highest point is because they all look the same. And each time we get to one point, we see a higher bit.
The highest point, I can see it. It's there.
No,
this way.
Keep on going.
Is that the highest point?
Fish up there.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
We're at the highest point now, so.
Well, where's the highest point?
It's there, isn't it?
Do you think so?
Finally, they make it.
We're here. This is it. Well done. And look at that view.
It's absolutely stunning out here. I'm glad I walked up, even though I wish I was back down now, but I'm glad I walked up.
It's now the hottest part of the day, and the team need to get off the mountain quickly. But on the trek back down, Martin sprains his ankle.
It's like a throbbing pain.
Rather than put a bandage on it now, you can just tighten your shoe.
Martin decides he's got to keep going.
I don't really have a choice. I'll have to, won't I? I'll probably be okay. Might hurt a bit, but...
Okay, gang.
Right, let's go.
Let's get you up. We really got to move out of here, yeah? It's getting hot now. Let's push all the way down and get back to camp.
My feet are burning.
Hold you with me right behind.
But within minutes, there's a much more serious incident up front.
You all make your way down this way. Just wait on there for a second. We're going to find you some shade.
Martin's fallen and he's smashed his face on a rock.
I got this.
It's an emergency. And while the expedition doctor looks after Martin, Emma calls for support on a satellite phone.
Okay, I'll take it, make sure it's safe.
Bruce leads the rest of the team off the mountain. Fortunately, it's not as bad as first feared.
You've got a bad cut to your back. It's going to heal up alright. Okay, you don't need any stitches or anything. It's going to be sore. Okay, you're going to set look.
I was just walking down and I caught my foot on here and just tripped forward and hit my face on the rock. My lip hurts a lot, but I just took some painkillers earlier, so I should be okay.
The doctor decides he's well enough to press on.
That's it. Right. Now, if things get too tricky, then we'll just do them on our thumbs. Yes?
Yeah.
You right?
Yeah.
You're doing well, mate. Really, really well.
And he makes it back to base camp.
How's your ankle?
My ankle's okay now.
Is it?
Yeah, all the pain just went
Let's
into
have a look
my
at
lip.
you. You don't look that bad. You got a little bit of blood here and it's a little bit swollen, but mate, you don't look bad at all.
Cool.
The girls will still want to kiss you.
By evening, his lip has really swollen up.
Well, as you can probably see, I had a bit of an accident today.
It felt terrible for him. He's been really brave, but he's been really good. It's very admirable.
I've had a nosebleed on and off since 11 o'clock, and it's really getting on my nerves because I can hardly speak properly.
I think he was really, really brave to go through that. And I was relieved that it wasn't anything worse.
But while Martin's emerged as a hero, people don't think David's much of a team player.
David, at the beginning, he sort of hung back and didn't really put much input into, like, how we were going to get there and stuff. He wasn't really communicating with, like, people at the front a lot.
And I don't like not being in control of the situation. So I knew where we were going from the start, but they were still had to stop every 5 minutes and argue about which way to go when it was blatantly obvious. And that got me very enraged. And I just sort of kept quiet and walked at the back until it was over.
David's getting a bit annoyed with, you know, us sort of moving a bit slower and maybe taking longer for decisions and stuff. But I think he just has to realise that there's different abilities in the group.
I just hope that the team like cooperates and just does what, like, not does what I say, but like listens to my ideas, because I'm not trying to be clever in it here, but they usually are right, like today, and the day before that, and the day before that as well.
The team's main task in Namibia is to find endangered desert rhinos and check on their health and location. This is vital work to protect them from poachers and save them from extinction, so the group need to learn how to track down this rare animal.
What sort of things do you think are signs that we can look for to study where an animal was and what it did? Yeah.
Footprints?
Footprints.
From an animal's footprints, experienced trackers can work out where it was going, what it was, and even its sex. But there's one other essential tool for tracking. And Bruce has some fresh elephant dung for the team to investigate.
Who's ready to try a bit of this?
Oh, you can smell it. Smell like me chickens.
Come on, give it a good sniff.
Do you want that one? Oh, that's well fresh, that. That's pulling apart of it.
Oh!
That's rank.
I can smell it.
It smells like hold the bottom bit, otherwise we'll get covered in.
Turn it up the other way. There you go.
Oh!
Actually, this is not as bad as like diarrhea or anything like that.
The rhinos get diarrhea.
Come on, let's break it right open here. Okay. Now that feels a little bit different, doesn't it, to the other ones?
From the freshness of the dung, trackers can work out when an animal was last in the area.
David just dropped the whole elephant poo.
How can you say David dropped it when it's right on your lap? This is one of the few things it doesn't matter if you litter the place with.
Bruce has a few more surprises for the team. It's time for lunch, survival style.
We're going to look at some of the foods that you can collect in this part of the world. You're going to be surprised because we've got some fun stuff for you to try. Pass them around.
First on the menu are some berries and nuts.
Quite nice, actually.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Nice.
Nice.
Tastes like peanuts.
Should we that one?
They're not bad. They're quite nice, aren't they?
Yummy.
But not everything is quite so yummy.
Now guys, what does that look like?
Dung.
Poo?
A little bit, doesn't it? Pass them around.
I bet it is.
Do we eat
Tell
it?
us what it is before we eat it.
Do we eat it?
No, that's poo.
Well, it's a grass. Honest.
Yeah,
It's
but
been
it's
through an
been through an
animal.
animal.
Not. Come on.
1, 2, 3.
Oh! That's horrible.
That is really
Bruce,
disgusting.
what is it, Bruce?
Tastes like hemp or something.
Just like Weetabix gone stale.
And I promise you now, this is an absolute delicacy out here.
Is that maggot?
No, I don't have a good
It's called a Mapani worm.
bug and S.
Oh, allow it.
Is it alive?
Allow it.
No, promise.
No.
Is it alive?
Have a look. Have a look at it.
Is it alive?
I can't do that, Bruce.
Is it alive?
Promise.
I'll try. I can't do it.
Please.
I'll do that.
Come, Shalom, you have one chance at it.
Go
on! Yeah! Is it eating you?
Tastes like?
Yeah.
Holly, come on. You can do one.
The bug's been dried for eating, but doesn't look too appealing.
Don't look at it.
Legs.
No, he's got a little head.
Come on, Hols.
Chew it.
I'll try.
It takes lights off though, go on.
Ah.
You didn't chew it long enough, it would take it. Don't look at it because it's going to put you off. You're vegetarian. You're vegetarian. No, it has to be done. You're a vegetarian one.
Am I ever going to get a chance to eat a worm again?
It's the team's last day at their main training camp. And Chris doesn't seem to be enjoying desert life.
It's just annoying me a bit. It's not brilliantly tough, it's just the heat that gets to you. I find it hard to get organised. I've lost loads of stuff. It's just really hot and stupid, really.
They're packing up and moving on to a new camp, but Chris isn't doing much to help. He disappears into one of the huts and won't come out. Leader Emma goes to find out what's going on.
Why don't you go and join the other guys?
I just want to sit in here.
You can't sit in the shade away from everyone for 2.5 weeks.
As much of it as possible.
But the whole point of an expedition isn't it's a team thing. You're here because people think you're fun and great.
Well, I'm not, because there's nothing that I can do.
All the things you take as kind of being rubbish are qualities. I've got to look after all 8 of you. And if you're always off on your own, it makes our job a lot harder. And also it spoils the group dynamics. So even if you're only just doing it for me, go outside and join the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Promise?
Chris joins the group,
Okay, shuffle back.
but he's still not happy.
Smile, Chris.
Well done, guys.
The team are heading 50 miles south to start on their first major task, building an enclosure for the camels that will trek with them through the desert.
Right, well, welcome to Makonja. This is where we're going to be for the next 5 days or so. These are where you're going to be staying. Do you want to have a look inside?
Yep. Once again, it's only mud huts, but compared to the last camp, the team think they're 5-star.
Oh, this is nice. This is complete heaven, you know, compared to the last camp. There's like trees here and shade, and it's just amazing how much we are valuing these teeny wee things now.
When the team trek across the desert, these camels will carry all their equipment. While resting, the animals have their legs tied to stop them from wandering off, normal practice in this part of the world. A new enclosure will mean the camels no longer need to be tied up.
What the camels are going to do for us, like carrying all the things for us when we're going on our final expedition. So this is like a way of saying thank you to them.
This is where we're going to be building our enclosure. It's going to have clay bricks around the outside with some foundations underneath, and then we're going to have a palm leaf roof so to give the camels a little bit of shade. So it's a pretty big task. Now, timing. We've got 5 days to do it in, but if you can get it done in 3, we've got a special treat lined up for you.
Try and get done in 3 days.
So, believe me, if you get it done, it'll be worth it.
Can we start this evening?
Yeah, please do.
They take on the challenge.
We want to see the surprise that Emma has for us if we finish it. So that's going to really make us, like, give us the oomph to do it quicker. We've got a lot of work to do and a really short space of time, so I just know we'll be working day and night up until then to try and get it finished.
I really like building, and I think we can get it done in 3 days if we try. Watch the crew bar.
Oh! That's really going to make a difference.
Yeah, it is actually. We only have one spade and nothing else to dig with, so I use a spoon, innit? I made a nice little trench there. Look! You see, she's not even doing the work with the spade.
I've done more than you with your little spoon.
Hey, don't cost a spoon.
While the team are working here, they're also going to be improving their rhino tracking skills. Today, Perry and David have gone out to learn more with experienced trackers from the Namibian charity Save the Rhino Trust.
These are really good.
The trackers find some rhino prints, or spores are also known.
But here you go, here's the print, and it's still heading this way.
Where's the next one?
And then another one there.
It's difficult tracking the rhinos because as soon as they get onto the hard ground, it's the footprint disappears, whereas on the soft ground it goes in and you can see it quite clearly.
Dave.
Yeah.
Perry's found something.
Who's Perry?
We've just found a rhino's footprint heading in that direction.
Let's see where it goes, guys.
This is impossible.
The team then find a really helpful clue, a rhino scraping.
This is the clearest signal you're ever going to get of rhino in the area. Yeah. Let's check out his dung.
It's quite moist. It's got little beasts in it.
Now, what does it smell like?
Still smells.
Yeah, it still smells. It's really wet.
That's a really good sign, isn't it? Squeeze it, and then let's see your fingers.
You can see the moisture in it.
It's really wet, and it stinks. Do you think he's close?
I don't think so.
No?
We have to walk for a long while.
They keep following the prints, but find something altogether different.
Whoa! Oh my!
Oh, check him out! A big scorpion.
I just saw this black thing crawling. I went, whoa.
I think he looks nastier than he is, but he's still not nice,
I almost stood in them, Bruce.
That's why you were wearing boots, mate.
They move on and the trackers have good news. They found very fresh prints.
So it can be maybe 2 hours ago. We've been here, it was here.
We're quite close. Just keep looking. We might catch a sight.
It's getting late though, and there's disappointment ahead.
Now that the guys have analysed it in a little bit more detail, it's actually, this spore is a little bit older than we thought, yeah? So, because the time's against us, that we're going to have to call this one a day, boys, and head back home. Sorry about that.
But unfortunately, we didn't get to find the rhino.
It was a bit disappointing that we've missed out on the rhino as we got so far.
I think we've been lucky enough as it is to even find a track, and I feel really happy that we've been able to work with these guys who are experts.
Back at the camp, the building is going on into the evening, but it's tough work.
We're just
digging the trench that the first bricks are going to go into, and we keep hitting the rocks.
It's going to be quite hard. I don't think we'll get it done in 3 days. We're going to have to work really, really hard.
But one member of the team still isn't pulling his weight.
Chris has been a bit stupid tonight. He's been all kind of lethargic and just annoying.
I got a bit annoyed at him when we were building the enclosure because he was just standing there doing nothing.
He was getting on everyone's nerves today, absolutely everyone's.
But Chris is feeling isolated and doesn't think the group are helping him.
I don't really think I'll fit in with the team at all. I don't know why I'm here. People cut off my conversations. No one really listens to me that much.
Next morning, work begins at dawn. Meanwhile, it's Amy and Martin's turn to brush up their tracking skills before the main expedition, and they're quickly on the scent of a rhino.
We've found fresh spoor just the other side of this hill. Yeah. Now, they're really, really fresh. Alright? We've come round this side so that we can approach it, okay, into the wind. That way it's not going to smell us, because you remember rhinos have got mega smelling. Rhinos have also got incredibly good hearing. Yeah, so just be quiet at all times.
It's quite nerve-wracking. Yeah. We don't want to ruin our chances of seeing it.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Because if it is there, we'd like the first ones to have seen them.
They soon find another sign that a rhino's in the area.
A little bit down here, isn't it? This is probably 1 day old.
He could be quite close.
I want to see him now we're this close.
Yeah.
Let's go and find it.
They keep on its trail but need to be extremely careful.
The dangerous thing about this is that it might be that we can't see it until we're quite close. Watch me all the time, watch my hand signals. Just got to stay alert. Excited?
Bruce thinks he's spotted it.
Have you got it? What do you think of that? You can really see him clearly now. Well, that's what we've been following all day long.
They've really come alive. You know, you've seen pictures in books and stuff, but they're just a million times better when you see them here. They're quite beautiful, actually.
But the team are only 60 metres away and rhinos can charge at more than 30 miles per hour.
It doesn't seem to know we're here, but I'd like to keep it that way.
The rhino senses something.
He's running.
Oh yeah, I see him now.
He's running.
Fortunately, he's running away from them.
You don't want to get in the way of that one, is it?
Seeing it just sort of just sitting there, just is completely, it's amazing really.
The whole trip itself became more real when we saw the rhino, because obviously the rhino's the point of the trip.
They're so endangered and so rare. It's just such an amazing experience just to see one completely in the wild.
Next time on Serious Deserts, it's crunch time for Chris.
We need to talk to him as a group, I think.
A traditional African dinner.
Oh. No, we're not killing that. I'm not eating it.
And emotions run high.
We're feeling like we want to go home at the moment because it's so hard.